Yo, this is Midas, and today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to spot good altcoins early, like how I found Sui at less than $1 and Solana at $10. This is how you actually make income on crypto instead of investing in shitty meme coins or just buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are very safe plays. So disclaimer, this video is only for educational purposes. Make sure to do your own research. So this is my track record. As you can tell, my positions were pretty low. I found Sui at 85 cents, bought Solana at $10 during the FTX crash, Ondo at 56 cents when it was just listed on Coinbase and was listed as a very volatile asset. I think that's what Coinbase does when they list new coins. Deep Book at 10 cents, Bitcoin at 20K. That was when the whole market crashed with FTX as well. Same with Ethereum at 1.1K. So as you can tell, this strategy does work. I followed these 11 principles back in 2021 when the bull run was peaking up, and I've continued using it during this bull run. And when you're watching this video, I want you guys to have a winner takes all mentality. There's no second place or no second place altcoin in crypto. It's more or less that the layer one or the altcoin that does everything well will capture all market share. It was Solana back in 2021. It's now Sui in 2025. So this is principle one. I want you guys to treat altcoins like a tech stock, like investing in a tech stock. So anything but Bitcoin or shitcoins. This is a common saying that everyone in Bitcoin maxis or just people in the crypto community always say, don't buy anything else except Bitcoin. I don't think that's true. Some altcoins have a lot of technical functionality. Like you can even look at Sui with the Mu programming language, Walrus protocol, data storage, and NFTs, DeFi. There's so many different aspects of technology that are being leveraged with blockchain technology. I think blockchain is going to be the future, despite people just thinking that, crypto is just all about meme coins. No, that's not it. This is literally going to be powering our whole future. Very similar to how we thought the dot-com thing was just dot-com stocks and dot-com companies were just a bubble. That is not true. It ended up growing to lead our world and transform our world to the way it is today. And yeah, like I mentioned, I like thinking about buying altcoins, of buying stocks during the dot-com bubble. There was a lot of trash companies, but you could have found Amazon, Microsoft, and eBay at very cheap prices when it just IPO'd. And you could also think of altcoins are like funding tech startups. Think like a venture capitalist. What would a venture capitalist invest in, and what would they not invest in? What is hype, and what's just a scam project? Now, the second principle is about technology. So some examples of this are you can think of it like Solana was the very first layer one blockchain to offer fast and low transaction fees, especially back in 2020/2021, where the only main chain was Ethereum, which was slow and inefficient. Solana took up all the market share as people liked using their software and liked using the blockchain because it was so effective and so easy to use. Sui and Aptos were the first blockchains this year to integrate the Mu programming language. And the Mu programming language is apparently the most easiest blockchain language to use and to program in, and developers love it. So developers are moving from Rust onto Move. Ondo Finance was one of the first altcoins to offer US-backed stablecoins with USDY, and Litecoin offered the first alternative to paying with Bitcoin. You might see a pattern here, and the pattern is that these technologies are revolutionary. They're all new, and people like new. Stick with that new technology over the old technology. No one really cares about like Algorand, Polygon, Matic. All those technology are so old and just cannot compete with the new technology of today. People and or investors, I guess people in crypto, they want something fast, they want something shiny. And that shiny is the new stuff, which is Solana, Sui, and Aptos. And think of it this way, what can your altcoin do that makes it better than its competitors? Can you see the technology being integrated outside crypto? That's important because outside crypto means that there is going to be adaptability and some use case of it outside of just, developing meme coins. Like for Solana, it's not just meme coins. They also have payment systems with MasterCard and Visa. Sui is known as the gaming chain. Ondo real world assets. They're planning to tokenize stocks, crypto, the financial markets as a whole. Near with chain abstraction, making it seem like when you're clicking an app, is not just is not just like an app that you just see, like you see the background of the user interface and how the app works, but you don't see behind the scenes where behind the scenes that whole app is powered by blockchain technology. And also read the white paper and technology roadmap. Think what are the future milestones? What do they plan to create for the user base and how they plan to do this and their dates. Because that's very important is to assessing if the technology functionality is going to be there or will be there eventually. Now, principle three, the team. With Sui, the team is comprised of all ex-Meta engineers, which is pretty big. Was near the CEO was an AI pioneer and one of Google's Transformer 8s. Ondo Finance, their whole team is basically backed by ex BlackRock, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, all big names in the financial community. So yeah, make sure like have they worked at big companies before joining Web3? Search the crypto company on LinkedIn and look at all the executives' achievements. Their resume, like what companies they worked at, proved if the project would be a success. Because why would someone that has a cushy job at BlackRock or JP Morgan decide to jump ship to a crypto or Web3 startup like Ondo? People won't do that unless they believe in the project and understand the use cases and how it might work, as well as the potential of it. Principle four, partnerships, the sponsors and backers of that project. For example, Kevin O'Leary, Coinbase, Jump Crypto, and FTX, they all invested in Sui. Solana is powering Circle, Discord, Meta, Google, and Stripe. I want you guys to follow where the smart money is investing in and working with. Very similar to institutional backers for stocks in the stock market. Same idea. The smart money invest in things that they feel have potential. Same idea you should have with crypto. And these partnerships also give more adoption credibility. You wouldn't invest in a random project if it had, if it didn't have a Discord or Meta there, because those are big names. They show that, if these big companies invest in that company, maybe I should invest in it too, because they see something that we don't, that retail doesn't, because, they have insiders and all that, and therefore it gives more awareness. Like, so we had Coinbase investing in them. Coinbase is the biggest exchange for crypto. People see that and they understand that. That's why they invest in Sui. Principle five, the narrative. So here's some examples. Sui and Aptos, when they were first released, they were known as the Solana killers. As they were the first layer one with Move language, offering that lower transaction fees, as well as an easy to use development language, very similar to Solana. Sui, the meta layer one. The whole team of Sui is comprised of meta engineers. Solana, the Ethereum killer. It was another layer one that came up that had a lot lower transaction fees than the whole market and basically took over Ethereum's market share. Render, an AI altcoin working with NVIDIA and Apple. Narrative is what gets people to invest and believe. It's very similar to buying a meme coin. The community matters so much. If you have just thousands of people talking in different forums, talking about Sui or different altcoins, more people that have just gotten into the market are going to see that and they're going to do their own research. And from there, they're going to find out the technical specs and why it's so good. That's what they're going to invest in it. The more people that believe, the more investors you have, and therefore the market cap will increase. And yeah, has anyone been talking about it? Check subreddits, X, YouTube videos. And remember, KOLs are usually paid to show coins, but those tokens can still explode. For example, Altcoin Daily posted about Sui, and everyone thought it was fun because, Altcoin Daily usually gets sponsored by mostly tokens to shill to their viewers, but Sui ended up exploding. So always do your own research because what they post could just be the next big thing. Principle six, ecosystem. So for examples, in 2021, the bull run, Solana had the most chain adoption. Now in 2025, Sui is the rising chain with that most adoption. Now the project's being built on the L1. That's how you determine if the ecosystem is good or not. With Solana, they're capturing AI agents, memes, oracles, dexes. They have projects in every single different category. That's how you know that the blockchain is going to do well because all the adoption, everyone wants to make projects on their ecosystem. It's very similar to, you can think of it as in a blockchain, there's like 10 different blockchains or maybe like, 40 different blockchains now, maybe even more. But these blockchains, some of them have like literally no development. People still show their blockchain thinking that's the next big thing. But realistically, if there's no developers, no one that goes to that network, it's considered a dead chain. So adoption really matters the most on a blockchain. If there's no adoption, it's practically useless. It's the reason why Say and Aptos failed compared to Sui. Sui captured all the development, all the projects, all the DeFi. It went all to Sui. While Say and Aptos, they didn't have a community. No one wanted to build on the platform because it wasn't as good as Sui. That's why they failed. And find blockchains with lots of development activity. This means that more projects are being built, and therefore it has a realistic use case. Principle 7, the edge and competitors. Some examples of this are Move language is the easiest programming language for Web3. Low transaction fees, like Solana and Sui. Fastest blockchain, and most adoption. So remember that a chain should have multiple ways it can win. Just because a chain is the fastest, but if it has no adoption, it's considered a dead chain and basically useless technology. You can have the fastest performing technology that just beats everyone else, but if no one uses it, well, it's a piece of junk then. So how does your altcoin compare to other similar alts? There are many DEXs on Sui, but Cetus captures the most DEX volume and has a user-friendly UI. This is how you judge that edge and competitiveness of the altcoin or layer one you're investing in. Principle 8, tokenomics. So keep in mind that FUD with bad tokenomics does not mean that a chain or an altcoin is bad. So just because the majority says that it is, doesn't mean it's a bad coin. Like I mentioned, some examples of this are Solana, Ondo, and Sui. They were all said to have this, yet they all exploded. This was very common in like the subreddits on X. People were saying, avoid these coins. It's a rug pull, and all the VCs are just going to, once they get out of their vesting position, they're going to dump on the market. That has yet to happen. So yeah, but doesn't always mean that a coin is bad. Also consider if it's going to be a linear unlock or an all at once release schedule. Linear means tokens are released in batches, which has minimal impact on price, for example, Sui. And all at once means at one time, a large number of tokens will be released and can have a significant impact on price. But once those tokens are released, price can increase a lot faster, notably Ondo, when it had that big release in January and is still recovering now. Some more in tokenomics. Keep in mind the supply and circulation as well as the total supply. So is there a large number of tokens in circulation and total? If yes, similar to share dilution, where more token or shares on the market will dilute the price. Less total tokens or tokens where almost all the tokens have released can make the value of every token worth more if held. Big example of this is Bitcoin. Principle 9, market cap. Does the coin have room to grow? So 5x or more, or will it just give a safe return? So you can think of it as Deep Book protocol versus Sui, where Deep Book is that Sui hedge as well as Sui leverage play. Solana versus Ethereum 2021. Solana had a lot more room to grow than Ethereum, which is more established, and Sui versus Solana. So keep in mind that a low market cap gives you more risk. Your altcoin might never gain the hype needed to pump. So, you could pick this really crazy altcoin that has the best technology, but if no one knows about it and doesn't pump, then you're kind of just wasting time with it. And it also has a larger percentage chip. Then there's the other side of it, where you can have a high market cap, where that has less risks and with smaller dips, but it's safer, but it has less potential for bigger gains. Principle 10, community. So look at the socials, X, Discord, Telegram, and LinkedIn if they have it. I judge the legitimacy of the project by their LinkedIn. So if they have a LinkedIn, I would check their team and the corporate image. Makes it feel like I'm investing more into a company rather than just crypto. X for the most up-to-date information and alpha about the project and the tech milestones. Then finally, Discord and Telegram for team and moderator involvement. Scams, there's scams in the community, or is it just actual discussion? We want actual discussion. That is what pumps a crypto token. Think this is the final principle, but do not trust anyone. Always do your own research. If you see someone talking on Reddit about a token, research why they're talking about it and the technology about it. Look at these principles and review it. Make your own decision. Keep in mind that FUD doesn't mean a token is bad. People on Reddit really have no idea what they're talking about. They might say that, because everyone said that suing Ondo were bad because the tokenomics, and it's just useless technology compared to Solana. But like, look at it now. You could have bought Sui when it was like $1. A lot of people avoided it because they trust people on the internet. Yeah, and I mentioned it here. People thought Solana would go to zero after the FTX collapse, and look at it now. Remember, always believe your thesis. And people thought Sui is trash compared to Optos because of the token release schedule, and yet Sui has already overtaken Optos. But yeah, that's all the principles. It's quite a long video, but rewatch different parts of it. I followed this strategy back in 2021 and it worked for me. So I hope that now the market's corrected a bit, you could buy these altcoins for a bit cheaper and stack it up until the bull run picks up again. That's all I have for today. Catch you guys in the next video.